So let's begin. So we shall be looking at this challenge, creating a static website for this cave. So as you can see, this is the documentation that we are supposed to follow until we complete the project. So I have already done the project. I've seen that the project is tackling the project. It requires someone to have a bit concept of AWS. Like I saw somewhere they were testing about cross region replication, also permissioning. This project is very good. So let's begin. So scenario, is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Awesome, awesome. So Frank and mother are husband and wife. Let me start again. Frank and mother are a husband and a wife team who own and operate a small cave business that sells desserts and coffee. Their daughter Sophia and their other employee Hill, who is a secondary school student, also work at the cave. The cave has a single location in a large city. Also, the cave currently doesn't have a marketing strategy. It gains new customers mostly when someone walks by, notices the cave, and then decides to try it. The cave has a reputation for high quality desserts and coffees, but the cave reputation is limited. The cave has a reputation for high quality desserts and coffee, but the cave's reputation is limited to people who have visited or who have heard about it from other cave customers. Sophia suggests to Frank, as you have told that Sophia is the daughter. Sophia suggests to Frank, I think he's suggesting to his parents, to husband and wife. Oh, okay. He's suggesting to Frank and mother that they should expand community awareness of what the cave has to offer. Uh, the cave doesn't have a web presence yet, and it doesn't currently use any cloud computing services. However, that situation is about to change. Okay, so I can see they have listed here the lab overview and objective. So in this lab, you use Amazon S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service, to build static website and implement architectural best practices to protect and manage your data. After this lab, you should do the following: host static website using Amazon S3, implement one way to protect your data with Amazon S3, implement a data lifecycle strategy in Amazon S3, also implement a disaster recovery strategy in Amazon S3. At the end of this lab, your architecture should look like the following. In this example, not in this in this challenge lab, you encounter a few tasks where step-by-step instructions are not provided. You must figure out how to complete your own, how to complete task on your own. This lab requires approximately 60 minutes to complete. Also, I think it is starting from here. This is now the challenge on launching a static website on Amazon S3. So Sophia mentioned to Nikhil that she should like the cave to have a website that visually showcases the cave offerings. The website should provide customers with business details such as location of the store, business hour, and telephone number. Nikhil is happy that he has been asked to create the first website for the cave. So for this challenge, you will take on the role of Nikhil and use Amazon S3 to create a basic website for the cave. Okay, so extracting the file that you need in this lab. So in this stack, you will need to download the zip file. You download the zip file, extract. Notice that you have an index HTML files and images folder. Okay, then you create an S3 bucket to host a static website. Okay, open Amazon S3, create a bucket in USN Virginia. Use US East 1 region to host your website. You must clear, block all access and enable SEL. Okay, uploading. So then you will upload those website file to the bucket. Okay, now let's go to hands-on. So first I will click, I will download the website file. Alright, then I'll save somewhere in my machine. I'll save it there. So since it is a zip file, I will need to extract and remove the website file. So what I'll do, I'll just right click it and then extract all. Just click extract. So if I go to downloads, I can see that it has already extracted. So these are the website files that we are supposed to upload in Amazon S3. So I will navigate to Amazon S3, which is here. So this is the AWS console. So I will search for S3. So remember, this is our region, which is United States N1. This is where you can change the region in which you want to use, or a region that is near you for lower latency. So for this case, I'll use United States and Virginia. As in the documentation, I'll click S3. Let us wait for it to load. So I'll come here and create a bucket. So remember, they have told us to enable ACL and also to enable to remove blocking access, to make the bucket public so that it can be accessible. Since we are going to host a website, we must allow it to be publicly. So I need to give the bucket name a unique name. We can call it let's give it a name like Caf bucket. Caf bucket 001. 001, not 002, 001. Caf bucket 001. Object ownership, I will enable ACL since I want to make the bucket public. So ACL are simply access control. They determine who can access the object in the bucket. So we shall just leave the default settings. Under block access, we shall not block access since we are going to host a website. So I will click, I acknowledge. So like you see here, turning off blocks or public access might result in the bucket objects within becoming public. AWS wants to make sure that you are making the bucket publicly, so you have to acknowledge that. So for the bucket versioning, we shall disable. We shall just go directly and create the bucket. Let's try to create a bucket. Oh, that name has already been used, so let me choose another one. Caf bucket. Let's say workshop. Caf bucket workshop 001. Let us try that one. It's still creating. Awesome. Now we have our bucket. So they have told us now to upload the files in the bucket, the website file. So I'll just open the bucket. Then I'll navigate to upload. So to upload the website file, I'll just click add files. Then I'll navigate to that folder, which is static website. I'll add this index.html. Just upload it. I'll just put it in the queue for upload. Then I'll add also the other two folders for the CSS and images for the CSS. Oh, I'm supposed to select. Supposed to add a folder. Then I just select the CSS folder. Then click upload. Then upload. Alright. Then I add other folder. I just come to static website. Then choose the images folder. Upload. Awesome. Therefore, I can now click upload. Just wait for it to upload. In this right now, it depends with your internet speed. Still uploading. Awesome. It's done. Therefore, I'll click close. Therefore, I can see the objects are now uploaded. Okay, so let's go to the documentation. We are now enable static web hosting on your bucket. So we need to enable the bucket now to host a website. So to enable, we navigate to properties. After opening the bucket, this is let me start from here. So after this is now the bucket that we have created. I'll just open it. Now you can see these are the objects that are inside the bucket that we have recently uploaded. So to host a website, you just go to properties. Then I'll scroll downwards until I see static website hosting. As you can see, it is here, static website hosting. I'll click edit. I'll just enable. This is where you type the index document, the landing page of the website. When someone clicks the S3 endpoint link for the website, now which file will the S3 load first, or your home page? So our home page is index.html. I think it's that one. Then I click save changes. Now after saving changes, the S3 will give us what is called the endpoint, or the website URL. To check it, you just scroll it, and you can see the endpoint link is there. As you can see, it is now saying 4.3 forbidden. To make this session interactive, I would like just to know why it is saying that. If you have any idea, just feel to say it. Why do you think it is saying 4.3 forbidden, or it is not allowing us to view the objects in the bucket, yet we have already enabled them publicly? If you have any answer, just say it. Or any idea why the S3 is blocking public access? Anybody to try? If you don't know, then thumbs up. And see Vera. Anyone else? Okay. Awesome. So the reason why the S3 is blocking public access, this is because, remember, we enabled the ACL. ACL now determine who is supposed to access the bucket. So as we have done, you have already made the bucket public, but the object itself, the object are still private until we make them public. This is good for security purposes. Like for example, even if your bucket is publicly exposed, nobody can get the access to the object. So by default, what you need to know here is that by default, any object uploaded to S3 will remain private, even will remain private, even until yourself you decide to make them public through ACL. So to fix this issue of the bucket not showing, I'll just come back to the S3. I'll come back to the bucket objects. So what I will do here, I'll just select all the three files, CSS, images, and index.html. Then I will click action, then make public using ACL. I'll make them public. So I'll click make them public. Awesome. So to validate that it is working, I'll go back to the website and just I will refresh. As you can see now, the website is now working. So let's go to the documentation. I think I've already done with challenge 1. Upload index CSS folder. In a separate web tab, open endpoint link for a static website. Alright, your answers. So to access, let's skip that one. I think I've already done challenge 1. It was just making the website public. So I'll go to, there's this question. When viewing the website after task 3, what do you see? Okay. task 3. And just continue. We have already done the challenge, the first challenge. Task 3 was uploading to the files to the website files to S3, and we have done that, and the website is working. Now let's go to the next task 4, which is creating a bucket policy to grant public clean access. So Frank shares his plan to create many types of pastries for the cafe. You realize that you do not need to upload an image for each new dessert that he creates and enable public access on each object. You don't want to do this process manually. Instead, you decide to create a bucket policy that automatically makes each object publicly when it's uploaded. So instead of you uploading the website file, then they are not accessible, then you have again to manually go and make them public using ACL. So to solve that issue, you can just automate. You can automate using a bucket policy that automatically makes each object publicly when it is uploaded in that folder. So we shall create a bucket policy that grants read-only access, read-only permission to public anonymous users by using the bucket policy editor. Okay, if you get stuck, we follow this documentation, the AWS documentation. How do I copy this? So we need to create a bucket policy that automatically makes each object public when it is uploaded. So I will navigate to the bucket first. After navigating to the bucket, I will go to permissions. Then I will scroll down where you see bucket policy. I will click edit. So this is where we are supposed to post to paste that policy. So remember, I have opened an AWS documentation. This shows that, for example, step 4: add a bucket policy that makes your bucket content public available. So this, as you can see, this is now the policy itself that to grant public access for your website file. So I've just copied this policy and copy it. Then I'll go to the policy, the S3 bucket, I'll paste it. After pasting it, you can see here they want the bucket ARN. So the bucket ARN, you can find it here. You can just copy it there. Then you just replace it here. You select this part, then you paste the bucket ARN. After that, so as you can see, action is just getting S3 object only. It only allows read-only access to the bucket files. So just click Save Changes. Now the successfully empty. Now it is fine. So you can just validate that it is working. So what I will do to validate that it is working, I'll just go to this one here. I'll go to images. So let's go first to the website and check which is this image that is displaying. I just click open in new tab. As you can see, the image is, let me move it a bit there so that I see. The image is coffee and pastries.png. Awesome. So what I'll do, I'll close it and just come to the bucket and delete that image, coffee and pastries.png. I'll just delete it. So first, to validate, I think I should remove that rule first, and then I delete, then I upload VC. So just let me come back again to buckets. Let us just remove that rule. I'll click, I'll go to the buckets, I'll open the bucket. I'll go to permissions. I'll click, I'll just delete the permission first. Then I'll type delete. Then I will delete the permission. Now there is no permission that allows automatically allows public access. So we'll just come to the bucket images. I'll delete that. I'll delete that image. The image is pastries, coffee and pastry. I'll delete. AWS wants to make sure that you're deleting. Then I'll delete that object. So if you refresh, you can see now the image is not there. So let's again now re-upload that image and see if it will be public. So I'll come upload. I will click. I hope I'm in images folder. Alright, then I'll add file. Then I will go to that image, coffee and pastries. Then I'll select it. Then I'll upload. Awesome. So if we go to, now let's go and try and refresh it if it will show. As you can see, it is not showing. This is because by default when you upload an object in S3, it will remain private until you make it publicly accessible using SEL. So this is the image. I'll just delete it again. I'll come and delete it again. So I'll just type permanently delete, then I delete. Now I'll go in the bucket and then add that policy that will automatically make objects accessible when I upload. So I'll go to permissions, bucket, I'll edit the bucket policy. Then I'll come to that AWS documentation. I'll copy that policy. I'll come to the S3 and paste it there. Then I'll copy the ARN. I'll paste it there. Then I'll come. I'll save changes. Now let's try and upload the same image and see if it will be public. The same object, which is an image. So I'll click upload. I'll add a file. After adding file, it was this coffee and pastries. Then I'll click upload. Then I'll upload. I'll click upload. Just wait for it to upload. Awesome. Now let's go and try to refresh if it is now public. Awesome. As you can see now, it is public. Unless if someone has a question about that one. If you have no question, you can put thumbs up so that I continue. Awesome. Now let me continue to the next challenge. Now the next challenge is protecting website data. You show Sophia the new website and she's very impressed. Good job. You and Sophia discussed that you will likely need to make many updates to the website as the number of the Café offering expands. Olivia, an AWS solutions architect and regular Café customer, advises you to implement strategy to prevent accidental overwrite and deletion of website files. You already need to make some changes to the website, so you decide that this will be a good time to explore object versioning. So in this task, we shall be enabling versioning in our S3. So notice that after you enable versioning, you can't disable it. Okay, in text editor, open index.html file. So we'll have to enable, we'll go to a bucket and enable versioning. So I'll go to the bucket, I'll close this one. So I'll go to the bucket itself. We need to enable versioning. So we shall navigate, is it properties? Properties. Yes, we go navigate to properties. Then you'll see bucket versioning. You click edit. Then you enable. Then you save changes. Now, bucket versioning means that if you have, for example, a file that is called index.html that is in the S3 bucket, and then you do some updates in the index.html, then you upload. If it was other file system, like if it was on Windows, it will have replaced the previous one with the current one. But now in S3, it is possible to keep the two versions, both the old version and the current version. That is now bucket versioning. So after I have enabled bucket versioning, the challenge is saying that we open index.html, and then we update the CSS code. We locate the CSS code and update this one, then this one, then this one. Then we save changes, then we upload the same file to the S3. So I just come to I'll come to that folder, which is this one. This is now the index.html. I will open with my favorite IDE. For me, I use Kiro. Let us wait for it to open. So now it has opened. So they have said that we locate where the BG color is aquamarine, and then replace it with this one. So I just copy it and copy. Then I look where the BG color is aquamarine. This is where I found it. Let me Control Shift plus plus. So I'll just replace it here. So I'll replace it. Then I'll go and find the other one. BG orange, I change it to this one. Just click copy. Then come to my IDE. Then I will look for orange. There it is. Just select it. And just select it. Let me select. Then I paste the current one. Then I will go to with the BG color orange, then to this one. Also this one aquamarine to this one. I just select, right click, copy, come to your IDE, look where it is. There it is. Just select it, then paste. I think it is okay. Then you click file, then save. And now we go back to the S3 and then re-upload the index, the updated index.html. Just come open the bucket. After opening the bucket, I will just click upload. I add file. I'll select my index.html. Then click open. Then upload. So let's now navigate the bucket and see if S3 has now kept the both version of the index.html. So I'll click index.html. I'll just open index.html. Then I'll navigate to versions. I'll click versions. As you can see now, these are the two versions. This is the current. This is actually the version ID. This is the current, and this is the previous one. Also, you can see the storage class, which is standard. You can see even the last date it was modified. Like for example, this was 425, and this one we have currently uploaded. So let's continue the challenge. I've already done with that. What's the other way to ensure maximum protection? So this question now I want to ask you, what is the other way to ensure maximum protection and prevent accidental deletion of preserved versions? Anybody with any idea? So you can find them here under facts. Let me just click it. Under security, I think security. So these are some of the facts on how you can secure your S3 by using STL policy, how can I control data stores. So just copy this link, you can go through it at your own time. So just continue the lab. Architecture best practice. So in this stack, you're gonna use one technique to implement best practice protecting your S3. So now that you have enabled version, you realize that the size of the S3 will continue to grow as you upload new objects and version to save cost. You decide to implement a strategy to retire some of the older version. So in this section, we shall be setting up a lifecycle policies. Anyone who has an idea what is lifecycle policy in S3? Vera, do you have any idea? All right. So about a lifecycle policy, let me just give you an example. It's like, for example, if your S3 bucket, you upload you just recently, how can I say it? You use your S3 bucket to upload files daily by daily, and as the this goes, the older files become unusable. So what you can do with S3, you can specify let's say what, like after a certain period, instead of making the objects or the images in that S3, your current S3, you can move it to elsewhere. You can move it to even S3 intelligent tiering, in which you can save some costs. So that is what we are going to implement. So we shall configure two rules in the website's bucket lifecycle configuration. So one rule, in one rule, move previous versions of all source buckets object to S3 standard intelligent tiering after 30 days. So that is the first rule, to move all versions. Remember, for that HTML, you have enabled the bucket versioning. In the bucket, you have enabled bucket versioning, meaning when we upload, when we make changes to our index.html, then we upload in the bucket. It uses that as the current, therefore the previous one becomes the old version. So to save cost, instead of storing the old version, you can just move it somewhere in the like S3 intelligent tiering, where you can save up cost. Or even you can, after 30 days, you can move that previous version or the old version. You can move it to S3 intelligent tiering to save cost. So even then in the S3 tiering, you can even decide like after 90 days, then you can delete it. S3 can automatically delete it if you are not using. So that is what we are going to implement. Move previous version of all source bucket objects to S3 intelligent. I think it is standard intelligent tiering after 30 days. So I'll go to S3, go to the bucket itself. Then I'll go to management. I'll create a lifecycle rule. Then for the rule name, I can just give it a move to S3. I'll rename it move to S3, or which name should I give? I'll just give rule to let's say to other storage, to other storage. Rule to, or let me call this just rule to move objects to cheaper storage, to cheaper. Rule to move objects to archive. anything like that. Let me just make it that way. Role to move objects. Then it shall choose a role scope. I think it should apply to all objects in the bucket. Then I acknowledge. Now this is where you choose the role. Like for example, this one is transitioning current version of object between storage classes. Transitioning current version of object between storage classes. I think this one is what the lab wants us to do, like moving the older version to other storage classes and current versions. So I'll just choose this one, then I'll continue. I'll acknowledge. You can even you can see this is standard intelligent, something intelligent. So I'll give the number of days. The lab has said 30. Then I'll just go and create a rule. Now to view the rule, just come to brackets, then come to management. You will see it here the life cycle. As you can see, the rule is enabled. Therefore, after 30 days, the older version will be moved to standard IA. Then they also want another one. In the other rule, delete the previous version. In the other rule, delete previous version of object after 365 days. So they want us to create a rule that will make S3 to delete all the previous versions of objects after 365 days. So I'll just go to there, management, the bucket, then management, then I'll create another rule. You can just call it delete all the versions after 365 days. Then I'll apply to all objects, then I acknowledge that, then I'll look for transition, not transition, is to delete permanently delete non-current version. I think it is that one. Permanently delete non-current versions of objects. Number of days 365. Then I'll just click create rule. Awesome. Let's go to the next challenge. I think you have done with this one. You should now have a lifecycle configuration that moves previous version of your source bucket to source bucket objects to S3 standard IA after 30 days. The policy also permanently deletes the objects that are in standard IA after 365 days. So we go to the next task. The next time Olivia comes to the cave, you tell her about updates to the website. You describe the measures that you took to protect websites, static files from being accidentally deleted, being accidentally overwritten or deleted. Olivia tells you that cross-region replication is another feature of Amazon S3 that can use to backup and archive critical data. This is best for disaster recovery. For example, if you are hosting a website in, let's say, in USA, and then the region experiences some challenges, therefore you'll experience some downtime. So to fix that issue, you can implement what is called cross-region replication, where you can create a source bucket and a destination bucket. Now, when you upload, then you can configure it in such a way that when you upload files in the source bucket, then the S3 or the AWS will automatically copy. It will automatically copy the website file to another region, to another bucket, or the destination bucket elsewhere, in which region we have created. So this is what is called a cross-region replication. So in this track, you enable cross-region replication on your S3 source bucket in a different region than region for your source bucket. Create a second bucket and enable versioning on it. So what do they mean by enabling versioning on it? This is because it is a must that when you want to create cross-region replication, both the source and the destination bucket must have an enabled bucket version. On your S3 bucket, enable cross-region replication. When you create a replication rule, make sure that you do the following: replicate the entire source bucket. Use Café role for AWS identity and access management. IAM role, give S3 permission to read objects from the source bucket and replicate them to the destination bucket. Oh, if you encounter warning, the replication rule is saved, but it might not work. You can ignore it and proceed to the next step. I think this one is the last challenge. Yeah, this one is the last challenge. Yes. So we need to enable cross-region replication in Amazon S3. So the first thing we shall do is go into the S3 buckets. So we shall create another bucket in another region. For example, this one is United States and Virginia. So you can just create a bucket in South Africa, Café bucket workshop 001. So I'll just come and change the region to the one that is closest to me, which is South Africa. I'll just choose the one in Cape Town. I'm changing now the region. So I'll create bucket. So I'll just call it Café bucket workshop 002. I'll just enable versioning only and enable versioning, then we'll just create bucket. So remember the region is South Africa, Cape Town. Still creating. Awesome. Now, to create a cross-region replication, we navigate to Café bucket, the source bucket. Then we'll go to management. Then create a replication rule. Go to management. After that, as you can see here, you have an option to create a replication rule. So I'll just create a replication rule. I'll click create. I need to give a name. You can just call it backup rule to South Africa. Then status, choose whether the rule will be enabled or disabled when created. Just leave it enabled. It should apply to all objects in the bucket. Then I will have to choose the bucket that will receive replicated objects, the destination bucket. So I'll choose that one that is in South Africa. I just browse. You can see you can even link it with a bucket that is followed by other AWS account. So I'll just click browse for 3. I'll click the second bucket, which is Café bucket workshop 02. I'll choose that path. So I need to create a role, or you can choose an already existing role. So even before we continue, you just have to create a role, and then you attach some permissions to allow S3 to replicate object to the other S3. So I'll navigate to IAM, Identity and Access Management. I think I'll just open it in a new tab. As you can see, they have even give us some hint. This is the hint how the permission are supposed to be. So in the IAM console or in the IAM dashboard, just navigate to roles. Just I'll create a role. AWS service. Use case is S3. Which service? S3. Then I will click next. Since I want to create a custom policy, I'll just click next here, because these are AWS managed policy and I want to create my own policy. So I'll click next. We need to give the role name. You can just give a Café S3 role replication. Just leave the description that way, then I'll create a role. So as you can see, the role has already been created. Now what we need to do, we need to attach some permissions on that role. So I'll go to roles and look for that role, which is cave S3. This one, I'll open it. Now I need to attach some permissions. I'll attach, I'll click, then I'll create an inline policy. So I'll use a JSON. So this is just a template. I'll delete this one, then I'll use mine. Just copy it. This is now the role. As you can see, it allows S3 to list bucket objects to get, then replicate objects, then replicate delete. Just copy that the way it is, then come and paste it here. After that, I'll click next. We need to give the policy name. Get replicate objects. Then I create the policy. Awesome. The policy has now been attached to the role. The permission has now been attached to the role. Therefore, I'll just return back here. Then I'll refresh this one, create a replication rule. The replication rule name, you can just give it replicate to South Africa, enabled, apply to all objects. Then I'll choose the destination bucket. I'll select Café bucket workshop 002. I'll choose path. Then under IAM role, I'll choose my existing role, which was S3. It was careful. I think it was careful. Careful replication. This one. I'll choose that IAM role. I just go straight and save. So I'll just submit. As you can see, it is now enabled. So what you need to note about the cross-region replication, after we have enabled, it will now apply to the newer objects that we upload into the S3, not the current one. But you can just do the current one. But for what the labs wants to do, it is this one. So meaning, to confirm this, when I upload an object in S3 for that for the one in the region in United States, it will duplicate the object to South Africa for disaster recovery. So you can just test it. Let's navigate to bucket first. To just confirm, you can open the one in South Africa, the bucket in South Africa, to confirm. Let's see if it has any object. So you can see we do not have any object in this bucket. This is the bucket for the one in the South Africa region. So I'll go to the bucket in I'll go to the bucket in US. Then I'll try to upload a bucket. I'll try to upload an object. Then we'll see if it will replicate itself in South Africa. My network. Let me use this one. I'll come to S3. So let's go and try. I'll try to upload. I'll go to the one in US region and Virginia. So I'll just upload any file. I'll click upload. I'll just add file. Then I'll just come to download. Then I'll just select, let me select this picture for this PowerPoint for AWS. As you can see, it is aws.pptx. Then I click upload. It is still uploading. Awesome, it has done. So let us confirm. As you can see, this is the US region. We have already uploaded. Now let's go to the South Africa region and confirm that. So I'll just change the region to South Africa, Cape Town, and navigate to that destination bucket, and we'll see if the pptx has already duplicated pptx object aws.pptx. So let us wait to load and see if our rule has worked. So navigate to that bucket and just go to general bucket and select the one for South Africa, which is Cape bucket 002. As you can see, it is South Africa, Cape Town. I'll open it. Let us see if it has worked. Awesome. As you can see, the aws.pptx has already replicated automatically in the other region. This is good for disaster recovery. I think I've done with the lab. Yes, I think I've done with the lab. So let me share the link for the lab. You can just give it a try at your own time. So if you have any question, you can just ask. I think I've done with my presentation. Any question? Thank you, sir. Thank you. This project was actually given by Sariandre. Yes, I've recorded the session. I will upload on YouTube. You can find it there.